What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today we're going to talk about the calendar. So the rest of June, and then we're going to talk a little bit about July. And yes, people on SSI will be receiving a check. They'll be receiving their check on June 30th. That check is for July. So it comes in June, but it's for July. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later in this video. But also, we have a lot of things going on this week. And so we're going to talk about that. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. And once again, thank you guys all for your support. I really appreciate it. And if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, you can at the TEC Show Live. Okay, so let's not waste any time. Let's go right over to our calendar. So we had a really busy month. We avoided a default. Everyone on Social Security received their checks on time, so that was good. And so let's talk a little bit about what's going on at the very end of the month. Now, one thing I want to focus on before we even get started. You guys, if you guys don't know, I put these little icons here, and these icons will signify when Congress is in session. Okay, so I have all these different icons. Now, if you see both icons, the yellow one and the blue one, this means that both the House and the Senate are in session. If you see something that's just blue, that means that the Senate is in session. If you see something, let's see, where's the House in session? I don't see just the House. Okay, so if you go over here, we'll go over to July. If you see just that with the yellow and blue, that means just the House is in session. So I want to talk a little bit about what's going on this week in Congress. And nothing's going on because they will be on recess. Okay, so that's what I wanted to focus on. So we have Monday here. They'll be on recess. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, they will be on recess. And then will they return next week? No, they won't return next week. They'll actually be on recess next week as well. So the 3rd, the 4th, of course, the 4th of July, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th, they will be on recess, and the Senate will return on the 10th. So they have 2 weeks off. Okay, so when I say 2 weeks off, I mean 2 weeks to go back to their home districts, and hopefully they can find out what the people need in their district. And I can tell you one thing that they need, and that is something to happen when it comes to Social Security reform. However, I think a lot of lawmakers are avoiding that topic just because they don't want to address the fact that we're probably going to need to raise taxes in order to resolve this situation when it comes to Social Security. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about some of the things that will be going on this week. Now, if you are retired, if you're on a fixed income, I know the way I am. I've been retired for 1.5 years now. I pay attention to these things a lot more than I did when I was working. So I'm paying attention to what's going on in the economy. I'm paying attention to the CPI score. I'm paying attention to home sales and things like that because I own a home, and most people, when they retire, their biggest asset or the biggest area where they have money is in their home. And some people have paid their home off, and so they're paying attention to what's going on in the market and what's going on when it comes to home sales, because they might decide to sell their house and move somewhere else, and then they can pocket the profit. So let's take a look at some of the stuff that's going on. So we have some numbers that will be coming out on Tuesday. So new home sales for May, those numbers will be coming out. We also have the consumer confidence for June. Those numbers will also be coming out on Tuesday, the 27th. And then when we're looking at pending home sales for May, those numbers will be coming out on the 29th. And then the GDP Q1 final estimate will be coming out on the 29th. And then moving on, the PCE index for May will be coming out on the 30th, as well as the consumer sentiment for June. That will be coming out on the 30th. So we have a lot of different numbers that will be coming out. And so the stock market's probably going to be going up and down all week. So just something to pay attention to when it comes to that. I'm not going to go into details of all of these different areas, all these different numbers, but some of them I might come back and do a video if you guys want that. Later on the week, we'll talk a little bit more about some specifics when it comes to some of these numbers that have come out. Also, like I was indicating here, SSI, your check will be going out on the 30th. Okay, now this is the July check. I want to repeat that because the last video that I posted, people were telling me exactly what I was saying in the video. I don't know if they watched the video or not, but you received your check in June on the 1st, and then you also will receive a check on the 30th. That is for July. So in July, there will be no check going out for SSI. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that. And then also people who normally receive their Social Security check, if your birthday is between the 21st and the 31st, you'll be receiving that check on Wednesday, the 28th. Okay, a few other things that I want to talk about when it comes to the calendar. We have Supreme Court decisions. They will be coming out this week. Okay, so all this week, all of the Supreme Court decisions have to come out this week. So I think there's about 10 left. And so we're going to hear a lot of information coming out from the Supreme Court. One of the rulings will be on the student loan debt forgiveness. Okay, so that $10,000 or $20,000, depending on the type of loans that you have, that ruling will come out this week. And so that a lot of people are going to be watching that. And you might think, well, I don't have student loans, so I don't have to be concerned about that. Now, I did talk about some seniors that have student loan debt. So they're going to be tuned into this because it could affect them. It could wipe out their student loan debt, and they don't have to worry about the situation where if they default on their student loan debt, because if you're a senior and you're receiving Social Security benefits, they could take your Social Security benefits away if you default on your student loan debt. So you're going to have some people who are in debt right now when it comes to student loans, and they're seniors. They're going to be paying attention to this, as well as everyone else who has student loan debt will be paying attention to this Supreme Court ruling, because this is going to have a major impact. Okay, and one more thing that I want to talk about when it comes to July, just looking at July. Basically, August, when you look at August calendar, Congress is not going to be in session pretty much all of August. Okay, so a lot needs to get done in July, but will it get done? Probably not. Okay, we're looking at September when we're really going to start hearing talk of what are they going to do about Social Security? What are they going to do about Medicare? And when I say this, I mean you have some representatives in the House right now saying that they want to make cuts to Social Security and Medicare. Okay, Speaker McCarthy's already indicated, look, this is what my plan is. My plan is to look at these programs, look at Social Security, look at Medicare. And so we might hear more talk in July, but September, something needs to be done because they're going to have their appropriations for 2024 that they're going to be dealing with in September. And they're going to have to move forward with something in September. And Speaker McCarthy has indicated we're not going to kick the can down the road. They usually kick the can down the road to December, and then they'll have this big omnibus bill that they vote on, and then they just move on. But Speaker McCarthy's saying no omnibus bill. We're going to work on a budget, and we're going to have that done before October 1st. If they don't have it done before October 1st, guess what? Government shutdown. And so they could use Social Security and Medicare, hold those programs hostage and say, okay, look, this is what we want. We want to raise the full retirement age to 69. We want to do this. We want to do that. And so that could happen. That could very well happen. So I'm just putting that out there to you guys. The next big battle is going to be for the budget for 2024. So we'll have to stay tuned and see where that goes. But that was the calendar. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of what's going on when it comes to the rest of June and then starting July. Later this week, I will do more in depth when it comes to July, when the payments go out for Social Security, all that. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on, but I just wanted to kind of let you know and let you see that there's a lot going on this week. And when we start July, there's also going to be a lot of things going on. So you want to tune in, subscribe, hit that little bell notification. So if you guys have any questions, post them down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one.